again, yesterday I asked you to do up through 22. So your job right now is to ask me a particular question if you're not sure about one. Will. All right, let's take a quick look at 22. All right, here we go. Now, I'm not sure what the difficulty here is because to me it's just set up as a graphing, right? Yes, so everybody now pull out the calculator and type it in, all right, and see if you can find the point of intersection. Yeah, look, I know some of you guys, listen, we're not repeating what we did yesterday because I already had some parent conferences having more. I'm now calling people to get you out of class, which I never have done. All right, I have work to do. I'm not hearing it from you. Stop whistling. Now, on question 22, I'm on 1 and 2. All right, y1, y2. Graph it on your calculator. Everybody graph it on your calculator, and then tell me the point of intersection. Hanson. -1, -7. Now, your job right now is to make sure that you know how to find the intersection using your calculator. That's it. All right, everybody good with that? All right, now, anybody else have any other questions? Yes. Number 4? All right, here we go. For number 4, the first thing I'd like for you to do is put up above, this is a substitution problem. The reason why it is a substitution problem is 2x plus 5. All right, y is equal to 2x plus 5. Now that I have y is equal to 2x plus 5, that means wherever I see a y, I can put 2x plus 5. Now, when I put that in for y, it becomes 2 parentheses 2x plus 5 minus 4x equals 10. When I distribute 4x plus 10 minus 4x equals 10, what happens to the minus 4x and the 4x? They cancel, so I'm left with 10 equals 10. All right? Because that is true, we know that it just is the graph of the same line, which means there is an infinite number of solutions. It is the same line. What?
You have also just taking the 2y and the 4x plus 10 and making the 2y plus 4x.
Yeah, but here's what you're supposed to understand. This is set up as a substitution problem. That's how you're supposed to do it. And we're going to go down today, and I'm going to make sure you understand what type of problem each one is. Whether it's a substitution, whether it's a graph, whether it's addition, whether it's multiplication with elimination. You're supposed to be able to tell me that. What? All right. Now let's take a look at 16. Now, look, listen to me. You should know this. All right? No, don't say anything. Just look up. This right here means that the lines are parallel. Now, it's possible that it's the same line, but you should be able to look at the -8 and the +2 and say those are different. Because these have the same slopes, they have to be what? They have to be parallel lines. Parallel lines, no solution. Shh. Parallel lines, no solution. That's how simple that problem was. And if you don't believe me, just type it into your calculator, y equals 3x minus 8 and y equals 3x plus 2, and look at it. They'd be parallel lines. You could be able to see they don't intersect. That's why there's no solution. What? Come on, speak. For this one? Yeah, it's possible, but I'm trying to get you to understand. This is just a graphing problem. It's y1, y2. What? Thank you. All right, let's take a quick look at 20. Now, this one is set up as a addition problem. It's an addition problem. How do I know it's addition so quick? Because I'm looking at the -2 plus 2y, and they do what to each other? They cancel out. So here we go. 8x is equal to 24. So x is equal to 3. Connor, are you with me? Now, wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a what? 3. So 9 minus 2y equals 16. -2y equals 7. Y equals -7 over 2. So my answer is 3 comma -7 over 2. What? Okay, let's all just show you it's the same. So it'd be 15 plus 2y equals 8. 2y equals -7. Y equals -7 over 2. Same thing. Doesn't matter which one you choose. What? 18. Let's take a look at 18 now. 18 is set up as a what? As a substitution. So we're going to substitute wherever I see an x, I'm going to put what? 8y plus 3, 5. 8y plus 3 plus 4y equals 15. 40y plus 15 plus 4y equals 15. 44y plus 15 equals 15. 44y equals 0. So y has to be what? 0. Now I plug 0 in. X equals 3. Answer 3 comma 0. 3 comma 0. Is everybody feeling pretty good about that? All right. Now, here we go, guys. I want to take a look now at starting with number 23, and I really need you to pay attention. All right? Because I'm going to try to show you now how I want you to get 100 on your next test. The reason why you get 100 on your next test is because you can check every single answer. All right? Now, this one is set up as a what? Everybody should be able to look at that and say this is set up as a what? Addition. So I'm going to add them. When I add them, I get what? 3x is equal to 6, so x is equal to what? 2. Right? Now, if x equals 2, you plug it right in. So 4 plus y equals 2, so y equals what? -2. So your answer is 2 comma -2. Is everybody with me on this? All right, now the reason why the y's are up there is I want everybody to put a y1 and a y2 because you're going to check everything with your calculator. All right, you're going to check everything with your calculator. Now, what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to show you how you can do it so quickly. All right, so I just need you to pay attention. Look up here on the board. All right? So, obviously, the first one, all I have to do is move the what? Move the 2x over. And when I move the 2x over, it just becomes what? It just becomes -2x. So y1 could be written as 2 minus 2x. Somebody have an issue with that? Now, could we write -2x plus 2? Yes. But for speed purposes, all I'm doing is I'm moving the 2x to the other side. Now, for speed purposes, look what I'm doing here. I'm taking the x and moving it over. So it becomes 4 minus x. However, this time, come on, stop daydreaming. This time there's a -1. So I have to divide by -1. Divide by -1. Now you can do a little bit differently, but I'm just saying, trust me for now. To be able to solve for y quickly, that's how I want you to do it. What? Just, come on, multiply by -1. Or divide by -1. I don't care, it's the same thing. I'm doing it division for a reason. All right? Now, everybody's got to type that in on your calculator now. 2 minus 2x under y1. Then quickly go to y2 and do parentheses 4 minus x, close parentheses, divided by -1. Then you go to second, calc, 5, enter, enter, enter. And tell me what that answer is. What is it? Come on, everybody's got to know how to use their calculator. 2 comma -2. Do you agree? Now, your job right now is to tell me that you understand how to find the intersection on the calculator. All right? You're checking your own self right now. If the answer that's on the calculator is different from the answer that you got on your paper, you know you made a mistake. Will, what? You have to hit second calc, and then 5, and then enter, enter, enter. Did you type in under y1, 2 minus 2x? Did you type under y2, 4 minus x divided by -1? Then you should be able to find the intersection. No, let him learn. What, Sebastian? Leave him alone, Julian. I don't want you talking to him. What? No, leave him alone. You have to hit enter. Leave him alone. Let him alone. He can follow directions. That's what I'm trying to teach him. He can follow directions. What? Then you typed it in incorrectly. This is 2 minus 2x. Go back to y equals. That's 2 minus 2x. Cole, are you there? y1, type in 2 minus 2x. Then under y2, parentheses, 4 minus x, close parentheses, divided by -1. All right? Most of the time, the reason why you not getting the right answer is because you typed it in incorrectly. All right? And one of the biggest mistakes is a minus and a negative. They're not the same thing on this calculator. All right? You have to be careful. All right? So here we go. Now, I have to move. All right? Here we go. I want everybody to take a look at number 24. For number 24, this is set up as a what? So we're going to do one more example of a substitution. This is a substitution problem. How do I know it's a substitution problem? I tried to trick you a little bit by writing it backwards. But it's just telling me that x is equal to what? 3y minus 1. So that means wherever I see an x, I'm going to put what? 3y minus 1. So here we go. This x changes to 3y minus 1 minus 3y equals 2. What happens to the y's? They cancel out. So now I have -1 is equal to 2. Does -1 equal 2? No, no solution. They are what? They are parallel.
We still have to check the solution.
Now what you're going to do is under y1, all right, under y1, now hopefully, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying about how I wanted you to do it. All right, here we go, parentheses, 2, what's on the right, 2. I move the x over. When I move the x over, it becomes what? -x. Then I have to divide it by what? Divide it by what? What's in front of the y? -3. That is correct. All right, so under y1, you're doing parentheses, 2 minus x, close parentheses, divided by -3. That's what you're doing. That's what everybody's supposed to be doing. All right, now for 24, parentheses, or under y2, what's on the right side? X. Then I have to move the what? The -1. When I move it to the other side, it becomes a +1. Then I have to divide by 3. Will, do you understand why it's the same thing every time? That's why I didn't multiply. I did what? I divided. Now, type that in, look at the graphs, and you will notice that they are what? They are parallel lines. If they're not parallel lines, that just means you typed it in incorrectly. Is there a solution when they're parallel? No solution. There is no solution. Everybody good? All right, let's move forward. All right, here we go. Let's look at 26. All right. Now, I need everybody to put a star by question number 25. All right, this I would like someone to look at and say the obvious answer. This is just a thinking question. You should be able to recognize something that's true about those two lines.
They're equal.
They are what? Why are they equal?
Because it's just divided by 3.
Exactly. Look what she just said. If you divide these by 3, I get what? 2x minus y equals 1. You are trying to be that smart. You're trying to look at things and make an observation. Look, I expect you to look at that and say, wow, that looks a little funny. All right? They look almost the same. Are they the same? Yes, because if I multiply by 3 or divide by 3, it's the same lines. Everybody agree with that? If you recognize that it's the same line, you were just putting down. There's a what? Infinite number of solutions, and it is the same line. It is the same line. Now, what's nice is we're going to go ahead and practice. You're going to graph the same line. When you graph the same line, those of you guys who have the calculators that have different colors, you're going to be able to see the red and then the blue. They go right on top of each other. Those of you guys that don't have that, you're going to have to watch carefully. It'll draw the line, and you'll see another line, but you won't be able to see this much because it kind of runs in the background. All right, so here we go. So parentheses. 1, then what? Go ahead, Caroline. Finally. 1. Yes, come on, speak up. Moving the 2x, come on. And then I'm dividing by what type of 1? -1. This is what I'm telling you, girl. You got to get with it. Come on, that's weak. Move the 2x over, do you hear me? And then what's in front of the y? Negative what? -1. So now the other one, come on, snap. What's the other one going to be? 3, 6 what? Then? Yes. Come on. That's what I'm saying. The difference between doing the problems and watching me do the problems. Do it yourself. All right, so again, this should be 3 minus 6x divided by -3. Is everybody good with this? Now, type that into your calculator under y1 and y2, and you should notice, wow, the calculator is just graphing what? It's graphing the same line. That's why there's an infinite number of solutions. All right, here we go. Okay, 26 is the one I want you to put a star by. This is the one where it requires a little bit more thought. Who can tell me what I have to do to solve this problem? What do I do, Sebastian? No. What do I do? Multiply the top by what? Shh. No. Someone else. Good.
Multiply the top by either 4 or -4, then the bottom.
Which one?
Negative.
-4. The reason why we're multiplying the top by -4 is because that becomes a -4y. And then the 4y will do what? Cancel out. All right? That's exactly what we're doing. All right? So I'm multiplying the top equation by -4. Now when I multiply the top equation by -4, I get -8x minus 4y equals -36. Now I bring down the other equation, x plus 4y equals 1. Now you should be able to say, okay, that makes sense because now what happens to the y's? They can cancel. That is correct. So I cross them out. And then I end up with what?
7x.
What do I end up with?
-7x.
Negative 7x equals negative 35. So x is equal to 5. X is equal to 5. Now what I want to do is I want to take that x value and plug it in as a substitution so I can figure out what y is. Now, in my opinion, the easiest one is to go ahead and plug it into the bottom equation. And when I plug that into the bottom of the equation, that'll be 5 plus 4y is equal to 1. So 4y is equal to negative 4. So y is equal to what? Negative 1. So my solution is, my solution is 5 comma negative 1. Remember, you're always doing the x and then the y. You're always doing the x and then the y. All right, now your job is get out your calculator and let's solve this for y. Connor, I mean it. Let's go. Get your calculator out. No daydreaming. Big test on Tuesday. All right, under y1, open parentheses. What do I have? 9. Wow, see what happens if you concentrate for a whole math class. 9 minus 2x. Do I really have to divide by 1? No. Do I really need the parentheses? No, because I'm not dividing by anything. However, on number 26, it would be 1 minus x. Wow, looking good, sounding good. Come on, what? Hurry up. All right, good. Now type it on the calculator. All right, under y1, under y2, chop, chop. And then check, second, calc, 5, enter, enter, enter. Is that correct? You can get 100 on the next test if you're paying attention. 5 negative 1, of course. All right? Boys, you guys okay with intersection? Connor, are you with me? All right, a little bit more. Sebastian, you with me? Right. That means you didn't type it in correctly, so look up and make sure you typed it in correctly. If you didn't
5
right.
negative 1, boys.
You good? Okay. Now, here we go. Listen, I've got to get homework now. 28, highlight 28. And then above, or I'm sorry, highlight 27. Then this is a substitution. Make sure you're doing it as a substitution, and then you're checking it on your calculator. All right. Number 28. This is also a what? It's also a substitution. Highlight it. Substitution. All right, let's look at 29. Okay, we're going to go ahead and practice 29. All right, I want everybody to put a star by number 29. All right, and then, Will, you tell me, what do I do? Yes, multiply the bottom by negative 5. Does everybody agree I could multiply by negative 1 also?
Yes.
If I multiply by negative 1, the x's will cancel. If I multiply the bottom by negative 5, the y's cancel. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So I multiply, he said, the bottom by negative 5. So negative 10x minus 5y equals negative 20. I'm bringing down 2x plus 5y equals 16. Now when I add them, I end up with negative 8x is equal to negative 4, right?
Yeah.
And so x equals, I think it's 1/2. Thank you very much. Negative 4 divided by negative 8 is positive 1/2. Anybody have any issues with 1/2? Hey. All right. Now I'm going to replace, wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 plus 5y equals 16. 1 plus 5y equals 16. 5y equals 15, so y has to be what? 3. So my solution is 1/2, comma, 3. 1/2 comma 3. All right? You good with that? Yes. Now we're going to do the graphing part. So y1, open parentheses. What do I have? Everybody should be able to just zip this out. It should not even be a thought anymore. You should just be able to say, go ahead, Caroline, what? 16 divided by, I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody thinks that's hard. After you do it 20 times, it should be just simple. It's hard for some of you because you haven't done it once yet. It's the same thing every single time. Hanson, what's the next one?
4 minus 2x.
Beautiful. I don't have to divide by 1. If you want to divide by 1, feel free. Now, type it in and see if 1/2 comma 3 is correct. Quicker, let's go. I got to move. Does that work out?
It's still graph, but yeah, it takes
That's correct?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it is. I'm still graph.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Now, listen, for 30, I want everybody to just put add and put a highlight. That's the one that's homework. All right. You're just adding those. All right. Now, let's check out 31. Now, 31, everybody should look at 31. What do I have to do on 31? I'm not solving it. I'm having someone tell me. Sebastian.
Don't you have to, did you,
Yeah, multiply by what?
oh, sorry.
Tell them.
Would you multiply by -1?
Yes, multiply the top by -1. If you multiply the top by -1, it becomes -9x, and then they cancel up. Or you can multiply the top by, now you're thinking. All right, now you're thinking. Very good. We're not doing that problem. All right, you're just setting that problem up. All right, now on 32. All right, this is the one we're doing because it has a fraction. All right, but you should recognize right off the bat that's a what? Substitution. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to put what? 2/3 x. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to put 2/3 x. So x plus 6 parentheses 2/3 x equals 30. So now x plus 4x equals 30. 5x equals 30. X is equal to 6. Now, listen, does anybody have any questions with how I got 4x, right? It's just 6 times 2 divided by 3. You don't need a calculator for that. Now, wherever I see an x, I'm going to put what? I'm going to put 6. So, y equals 2/3 times 6, which is equal to 4. So my answer is 6, 4. All right? Now, y1 is already what? 2/3 x. y2, someone?
30 minus x divided by 6.
Wow, 30 minus x divided by 6. Type that in real quick and double check me, please. Shh. 6,4. Now, again, hopefully you realize how you're getting faster because you're doing problems. That's what I think some of you don't understand. Do the problems. It gets faster as you go. All right? Now, keep going with me because I got a lot of problems. 33, what do I have? Highlight that and just put above it what? Addition. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going down to question 35. Okay, or 34, I'm sorry. Everybody put a star by number 34. If you can do number 34, you can make 100 on the next test. This is as hard as it possibly gets. So if you want to make 100 on the next test, put your eyes up on the board and pay attention. And I want someone to tell me how to solve this. because it's a little bit harder. And the reason why it's a little bit harder is because you have to do what, Miles?
You have to multiply both of them.
You have to multiply both equations. Do you have options, Miles? Do you have options on how to do this?
Yes.
Yes. One option is to multiply the top by
2
and the bottom by.
-3.
Now, if for some reason that's complicated, listen to what I'm telling you. You can just switch these numbers. If you don't know anything else, you can just switch these numbers. Just like over here, I could multiply the top by 3 and the bottom by 4 because I just switch this number and switch this number. It always works. Now, sometimes that's not the easiest way, but that is a correct way. Now, again, multiply the top by
The top by 2.
and the bottom by
-3.
-3. The reason he chose one of them negative is because one sign has to be positive and the other sign has to be what? Negative. Now what? -4 and 6. Beautiful. Now, that is good. Listen to me. Hear me. Hear me. You're not listening. You're doing something else. Caroline, I'm talking to you. Now, she said -4 and 6. Those are both now what? 12. The numbers are just going to be a little bit what? Bigger. That's all. It doesn't matter what you see as long as you make them cancel. So we're going to stick with the top. We're going to multiply by, say it again, 2 and the bottom by, beautiful. That's what we're doing, multiplying the top. Now listen, for those of you guys, especially Miss Bain, do yours what you said so you can see how you're doing. You're not going to see it my way always. You've got to come up with your own way. Your own way is going to work if you do the arithmetic correctly. All right, please be careful. Now, when we multiply, I get 6x plus 8y equals -50. -6x plus 9y equals 6. Now I thought I made a mistake. The reason why I thought I made a mistake is because I can see that's going to be a fraction. When I see something as a fraction, I just go back and double check my numbers. And as I double check my numbers, of course, I'm what? Of course, I'm correct. All right. So here we go. Now, I end up with what? 17y is equal to -44. So now you leave it as y equals -44 over 17. Is everybody happy with that?
Yes.
All right. Now we know that y is -44 over 17. I have to plug it in to this one right up here. Now, I don't care about fractions because the lesson is not about fractions. That's why you're allowed to use a what? Calculator. So here we go. So now, the hard part, 3x plus 4 times -44 over 17 is equal to -25. So now, on your calculator, you're going to multiply 4 times -44 over 17. That's going to come up with some random decimal. Then you hit math, enter, enter. If you do that properly, you'll end up with, I think, like -176 over 17. I think that's it, but verify.
Wait, how do you do it again?
Okay, so what we're going to do is this. You're just on your calculator. You're doing 4 times -44 divided by 17. Math, enter, enter. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
It just says -167.
Yes.
I typed in the fraction. I got -7.35.
Okay, here we go. Come on, come on. Now, here we go. Hey, I'm trying to finish this up. Look up, please. Now, I need to add 176 over 17. Now, look, we don't have to write that step anymore. You just type in on your calculator -25 plus 176 over 17. All right? And when you do that, you end up with what? Math, enter, enter.
-249 over 17.
-249 over 17. Now remember, you did -25 plus 176 over 17, and then you divide that by 3, and I think that's -83 over 17. Is everybody with me on this? All right, now I'm going to show you something pretty nice if you can pay attention. So my answer is -83 over 17, comma, negative 44 over 17. All right, now look, I'm asking you to really pay attention because not always on the calculator does it seem like it's right. That's why it's so nice to be able to go back and double check your work. All right, I need your attention, everybody. All right, put your eyes up here now. All right, now we're going to set this right up here. I want someone to tell me nicely what y1 is. What is y1? Go, Abby.
y1 is negative 25 minus 3x divided by 4.
Beautiful. That's exactly what you should be able to tell me. All right? You ready? Give me y2, please. No, right here. Can you see it? No, I'm looking right here at the equation. You're solving that for y.
Oh, it's going to be negative 2
Good.
minus
Good.
2x divided by
Negative.
3.
Yes. Beautiful. That's what you should be doing. All right. Now, everybody do that because I want to show you something pretty cool on the calculator. All right. Please type that in on the calculator. Watch real carefully.
It gives you a huge.
Yeah, it gives you a decimal. All right. So now I need you to pay attention now. All right. So find the point of intersection quickly because I want to show you how cool your calculator is. All right. No, we're not worrying about it. Come on, type it in your y1, y2. I'm running out of time. Zoom standard. Your graph is not typed incorrectly. Negative 25 minus 3x.
Also intersect sometimes.
Division. Hey, what am I doing with you? All right.
You need the ruler, man.
I know. All right. Hey, quickly now, I want to know who's got the point of intersection on the calculator.
I do.
All right, make sure you got
I'm
it.
a good boy.
I do
Okay.
not.
Yeah. Now the reason I'm trying to tell you it's an obnoxious it's an obnoxious fraction or decimal. I'm now going to try to show you how to convert that answer to a fraction. You have to hear me now. Listen to what I'm saying, Miles. This is really kind of nice. All right. I want you to go to your home screen, which means second quiz. Now, does everybody agree this is the x, right? Now, when you find a point of intersection, it stores the answer as x and y. Come on now. I'd like everybody to hit the X button on their home screen and then do math, enter, enter. Okay, now the other really cool thing, okay, I know that was amazing. Now what's really amazing is I need the y value. All right, so the y value is the alpha. You got to hit the alpha button, and then the y is the number 1. And then you hit math, enter, enter. And then that gives you that answer. That is pretty cool. So it automatically stores the answers from the points of intersection so you can convert them to a fraction. All right? Okay. All right.
So I got the graph.
What? Quickly, I'm coming. This again. No. If you got a different answer, you are what?
Wrong!
Thank you.
Correct.
Wrong. No. All right, doesn't matter what way you do it. You'll always get the same answer. You didn't follow the directions. You didn't.
You told me to do it the other way.
What was the solution? Supposed to end up as
A lot.
10 over 10 and negative
No. This right here. this way is being positive 6. Minus 4. You good? Okay. Hey, now, listen. Eyes up here. Last one. And you guys, actually, I'm kind of impressed because we got as far as everybody so far. So I want one more attention on 35. Here we go. Now, again, 35 is considered a little bit harder. Okay, so I want everybody to take a look up here. And I want someone to evaluate and tell me what I multiply by. Okay, I'm going to let you try. Tell me. And the bottom by? That's possible. Those are big numbers, though. What else? Yes, that's even better. Now look what she said. Because these are 18, right? So she said -3 and +2. And those are good because those are smaller numbers. However, if you do -10 and 8, that's just a quick way to do it. All right, did you understand what I just said? All right. Now, I want to say something else seriously about today. Really much better day today. Much appreciated. All right. Now, I also want to say this, guys. I'm not kidding when I say everybody can make 100 on the test. And some of you are better, and some of you have more work. And what have I told you about the weekend? The weekend is your time to make sure that you're prepared for your test on Tuesday. All right? So do as much as you need to do. Understand, listen, there is no way on Monday I'm going to be able to get to all these problems. I made extra problems because I know that it is a little bit more difficult. So some of you need extra practice.
I'm coming here.
Right? Yeah, your homework is to review and study and practice and do as much as you can. And on Monday, I'm just going to go through and do as much as I possibly can. And then that night, I will try to post the solutions for you. All right?
Thank you, young sir.
Any questions?
Oh, we have to do a thing. And a Latin